Hello and welcome to Unacademy IAS. The Union government on 21st November 2025 announced the implementation of the four labor codes. Now it has announced the operationalization of these four labor codes by notifying the rules. What are the important rules that will have an impact on the workers? Let's decode. Before I start, here is a very important announcement. Right now, the Unacademy IAS courses are available at a discounted price of 22,999. Those interested in enrolling, do check out the details by clicking on the link provided in the description below. And whatever is the price mentioned in the website, use the code IAS English to get the discounted price. Let me begin the discussion starting with the rules associated with the wages. Now, within the wages, what was expected in the rules was the government of India would announce the minimum wages. Right now, the government of India has stated that the minimum wages will not be announced in this set of rules. Rather, the union government will be separately announcing the minimum wages later. This is a very important announcement. Please remember this. Now, what are the other important rules that have been announced associated with the wages? Daily wages are decided. Now, these particular daily wages will be divided by 8 to identify what are hourly wages. And whatever is the daily wage will be multiplied by 26 in order to determine what are monthly wages. This is first very important rule. Second very important rule, let's say you are a daily wage worker. Then when will the wages be paid to you? According to the new set of rules, the daily wages shall be paid by the end of the shift. What if you are a worker who is working on wages but you are being paid on weekly basis? According to the new set of rules, in a week you are not supposed to work more than 48 hours. And in a week you are supposed to get at least one day of rest, that is leave. In such cases, if you are being paid on weekly basis, one day, please understand this, if you are wage worker on paid on weekly basis, then the weekly wages shall be paid one day before the weekly holiday. What if you are being paid on fortnightly basis? Then it shall be paid within 2 days of the end of the fortnight. And if you are working on monthly wages, then you will be paid within 7 days of the succeeding month. Next important rule, all the wage payments that are done by the employers, there are only two methods that they will have to use now. Direct cash payments not allowed under the set of rules. The transfers will have to be done either through the electronic mode or through bank transfers. Only these methods of payment will be used now. Next, what if there is a contractor who is doing the work for another company? For example, a lot of these public sector enterprises will ask for contractors to finish a particular amount of work. Now, these contractors have hired certain number of wage workers. In this case, it will be the duty of the principal employer. It will be the duty of principal employer in order to ensure that the wages are paid on timely basis by the contractors. And when the contractors will pay the wages to the workers, that information will have to be notified to the principal employer. What if the contractor is not following these rules? They are not abiding by these set of guidelines. These particular contractors now will not be allowed to participate, will not be allowed to place bids for the government contracts for a certain period of time. They will be barred from participating in the government contracts for certain period of time. Next, what are the important rules associated with gig workers? The employers will have to upload all the information regarding the gig workers, regarding the number. And this particular information will have to be uploaded in the central government portal in 45 days. And not just this, the government also says that in order to effectively provide social security benefits, especially to these particular gig workers, the employer will have to keep on providing the real time information regarding hiring and removal of the workers so that effectively the social security benefits shall be provided. Now, will every gig worker be covered under the social security benefits? Is there any eligibility criteria? The union government has notified a rule associated with the eligibility criteria. If you want to be covered under the social security benefits, then you must have worked for at least 90 days. At least 90 days in the previous financial year. And you should be of at least 16 years. You should be of at least 16 years. These are the eligibility criteria. Now, let's say all of this is being notified by the union government. What if the employers do not follow? The employers who are supposed to make their own contributions, that is their side of contributions, in order to provide the social security benefits to the workers, what if they do not abide by these guidelines? The union government in these rules has stated that for every 1 month of delay, 1% rate of interest will be imposed as a penalty on these employers. And for 1 year, if there's a delay for 1 year, then the rate of interest that will be imposed as a penalty on the on the employers will be 12%. Will be 12%. Next, other important rules. Once you are hired by a company, the company has to mandatorily issue appointment letters. A lot of times what happens is there is basically appointments that are done on word of mouth. That is, the employer will basically say you are hired. There is no communication provided. There is no clarity regarding the breakup of the salary, your right, your work designation, what is expected from your side, what are the hidden benefits that will be provided to, etc. All of these details are provided in the appointment letter. So once you're hired, there has to be a mandatory issuance of appointment letters. Next, very recently, this has been announced by the government of India separately as well. That is, any worker who is above the age of 40 years, 40 and above the age of 40 years, now annually, free health checkup has to be conducted. This is important because as these workers are exposed to, let's say, environments such as a continuous heat, right, or right, let's say they'll keep on being involved in physical activity, etc. It is important to keep a track of their health as well. So anybody who is above the age of 40 or above the age of 40, now annually free health checkup has to be done. Equal pay, work, as well as opportunities for women. Unlike earlier situations, in many of the states earlier also, we must have seen this, or you must have seen this, the women were not allowed to work for certain types of shift. All of these will be changed now. Equal pay, work, as well as opportunities for women. Right? Next one, weekly working hours have been limited to 48 hours. Now, what if you are working more than 48 hours? In such cases, the overtime payment has to be done. The overtime payment has to be done by the employer. At least one weekly day of the rest has to be provided, at least one day, and overtime payment for additional hours of work that the worker has done. So these are some of the very important rules that have been framed by the union government. Now, after the announcement or the notification of the rules by the central government, the state government of Maharashtra also has come out with set of rules, that is for the operationalization of the labor codes. This is important for a simple reason. Labor as a subject falls under the concurrent list. You need the central government as well as the state government for effective implementation of the rules. That is the first point. Second important point, the trade unions. There are 10 central trade unions. Central trade unions who have opposed the new rules or the notification of the new rules. The opposition is very simple. They have cited certain issues which have not been addressed by the union government, which are present in the labor codes. For example, they are opposed to the concept of fixed term employment, under which the employee will be providing the job for certain period of time. That is, let's say 1 year. The contract will be done, right? So for 1 year, the job will be provided, and just like a full-time employee, the payment, etc., will be done to this particular employee. The opposition is very simple. If the companies will start to hire the number of employees, more and more of them under the fixed term, then the companies will not be preferring full-time employees at all. They will keep on hiring more and more fixed-term employment. That is the first opposition. Second opposition is, in many of these particular labor codes, the thresholds have been increased. And when the thresholds have been increased, I'll give you some examples. A lot of these establishments or enterprises now will not come under the coverage of the labor codes, which means these labor codes are more are more interested in providing in protecting the interest of the employer, not protecting the interest of the workers. For example, in terms of layoffs, until recently, the threshold number that was needed was 100 workers. Now this particular number has been increased to 300 workers. And not just this, many of these particular labor codes now will be covering only those establishments who will have 20 workers. Until recently, it was covering all those establishments who had 10 workers. Right? So there have been multiple issues that have been raised by the trade unions, and that's the reason they have opposed the notification of the labor codes as well as the operationalization of the labor codes by notifying the rules now by the central government. So these are certain important concepts, things that you need to understand in the context of the current affairs discussion surrounding the idea of operationalization of labor codes. What are your thoughts regarding this? Do let me know in the comment section. If you have liked the discussion that I've done so far, if you have benefited from this discussion, do not forget to hit the like button. If you are yet to join the Unacademy IAS YouTube channel, kindly join right now. Thank you. Have a great day.